Alright, guys. UFC 303 just wrapped up. Alex Pereira against Jiri 2. Overall, I don't know. The card was okay at best. Some exciting fights, some good flatline KOs. The main event, of course, it didn't disappoint. We knew somebody was dying. Somebody was going to get body bagged in the main event. It happened. Pretty happy about that. Some chaotic moments in the main card. But let's start from the early prelims. I don't want to really talk about any of these fights, but Ricky Simon against Vinicius Oliveira, first fight of the card. A lot of people got Ricky Simon winning. Vinicius Oliveira got a decision win. I don't really want to talk about it. Ray Teixeira against Carlos Hernandez. Ray Teixeira showed up some nice grappling on the ground. He looks to be a very promising prospect. I think he's really young too, so really excited for that. He looks like a great fighter. But yeah, got his unanimous decision against Carlos Hernandez. Andre Arlovski against Martin Budai. Arlovski's doing his classic fight in the clinch for 3 rounds and lose a decision. He's doing his classic. This man gets a paycheck for just doing the same thing over and over again. This man's record is probably like 40-20 by now. Unfortunate. Budai, I mean, this is just a fat shit at heavyweight, to be honest, but whatever. Split decision win. Whatever. Who cares? This women's fight was actually not... I'm not saying it was entertaining, but I'm not saying it was boring. It was pretty good. Jillian Robertson showed up. I mean, let me say the names first. It's Michelle Waterson Gomez against Jillian Robertson. Jillian Robertson just outclassed Michelle on the ground. Just, people had like 3 10-8s, 2 10-8s. I had like 1 or 2 10-8s. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing how bad Michelle was on the ground. I know Robertson's a great black belt, and she knows her stuff. She's really good at grappling. But Michelle's not... I thought she wasn't a pushover. She got absolutely destroyed. She would hop from side control to the crucifix position to full mount. She just was doing whatever she wanted with her. Michelle did good to fight off a couple of submissions, a couple of arm bars. But other than that, really disappointing. Just kind of been on bottom for about 15 minutes. If you read the statistics for this, she was on bottom like the whole time. Just a bad look for a UFC fighter. She's obviously 38, so it's kind of like whatever. She retired there. They gave her like a whole movie. They gave her a whole interview. I don't know why exactly, but it kind of wasted about 20 minutes of our lives that we're never getting back. But whatever. Cool moment, I guess, for her retirement. Whatever. Got dominated 10-8. I think only one judge gave a 10-8 round, which was isn't it kind of suspicious that like when she's retiring, judges all of a sudden don't want to give 10-8s? Suspicious. Whatever. Who cares? Early prelims, get out of there. Prelims, Payne Talbot against Giannis Gamori. Giannis Gamori is a complete can and was the heavy underdog here. Payne Talbot got his immediate finish, 19-second finish, guys. Giannis Gamori kind of just stepped into a right hook, I think, and got just completely just knocked down right to his back, covering up immediately. It looked like he just gave up. Like he had enough of that. 20 seconds in. Like, guys, I'm not gonna lie, you gotta start getting dropped in the UFC. If you get like hit with a combo, right, and you get knocked down, that's fine. Covering up, there's no resistance. You're just kind of giving up. You're just kind of laying on the floor and giving up. Whatever. Good win for Payne Talbot. Hope he fights in the Sphere. I hope a lot of fighters fight in the Sphere, but he looks like a nice prospect. Everybody expected this. But yeah, good win for Payne there. Hopefully he fights in the Sphere against, I don't know, give him a good top 20 bantamweight. Next fight, Charles Jourdain against Gene Silva. Gene Silva missed weight by like 1.5 pounds, but of course doesn't matter. He just takes the win, of course, because of course he does. He kind of just out dumbassed him in this fight. I mean, pretty dry fight. I kind of looked away at multiple times. I was not really into this fight. Charles Jourdain is a disappointment all the way around. Kind of a boring fight, but Gene Silva's a good personality. He's one of those fighting nerds guys out of Brazil. Cool personality. He acts pretty dumb. He gave like the translator a kiss or something. I mean, Gene Silva's a personality, but other than that, I don't really want to talk about this fight. Next fight, Cub Swanson against Andre Fili. Split decision win for Andre Fili. I thought Andre Fili won this fight 2-1. I think he landed clearer shots than Cub. I think Cub got some counter shots in. He kind of wobbled. I mean, not really wobbled, but landed clean with Fili a couple of times. I feel like Fili just had better kicks and better overall performance here. I thought it was 2-1. A lot of people were saying robbery, but it's how it is. I wouldn't really have mind if Cub Swanson got the win here because he is like 40 and he's about to retire. But whatever, I guess his loss here. I think that's like his second loss in a row. Or I think he's off a win actually, so I don't think it's too bad. Joe Pyfer against Marc-Andre Barrial. Joe Pyfer did the expected and flatline Marc-Andre Barrial. He did the meme thing where he was face down on the ground, motionless, just sleep, body bag this man. Second loss in a row for Barrial against, I think he lost against Chris Curtis, right? But yeah, Joe Pyfer proving to us that he really can fight and he really is a good contender at middleweight. I'm really excited for him. Hopefully he fights some kind of ranked opponent next. Finally, guys, the main card. And guys, if I'm sounding too unexcited, it's just the card wasn't all that. It really wasn't. We were all excited for the Gary against Page fight, Ian Gary against Michael Page. Nothing really too exciting. I mean, like, we didn't expect this from Gary, but he fought the path of least resistance, in my opinion. He knew that Michael Page was going to try to outpoint you. He's going to try to strike you from range, do his karate. Gary took him down a couple of times, exposed Michael Page. Michael Page had nothing on the ground. He had no clue what to do on the ground. He got out of a rear naked choke. He actually showed a lot of heart in getting out of the rear naked choke in round 1. Round 2, he got a couple of clean shots on Gary. Gary couldn't really connect with him. He got a nice round 2 win, 1-1, leading into round 3. But then again, I think Michael Page was on top in round 3 in full guard, and he really just couldn't do anything. And then Ian Gary got on his back. Michael Page could have attempted to, like, trip him off his back, like, get him off his back by, like, shaking a couple of times. He just did nothing like that, nothing of the sorts. Really makes me question his jiu-jitsu coach. Like, what kind of jiu-jitsu is he doing? I have no idea. Some of the most basic stuff he wasn't doing, but hey, at least he showed some heart. He got an L there. I don't even know where you go with Michael Page here. He's old, a loss against Ian Gary. I guess he fights somebody like, I don't know, anyone from welterweight in the top 15 maybe. I don't know. Whatever, good win from Ian Gary. I don't know who he's going to fight next. He's calling out Shavkat. I mean, Shavkat should be fighting JDM, but you never know what's going on with the whole JDM stuff. But if he fights Shavkat, I think he gets exposed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest believer in Ian Gary. I think he's good, but I think against a good fighter, I really don't see him doing anything. I think Shavkat rocks him, but I could be wrong. I'm maybe just a casual. This is a casual take, maybe. I'm not confident in Ian Gary. He is growing on me, but I just don't like him that much. Next fight, up the main card. Mayra Bueno Silva against Meisy Chasson. Honestly, people were saying this fight was going to be boring. It was actually not bad at all. Round 1 was a slugfest. They actually brawled a little, which was cool to see. Round 2, of course, all good stuff had to come to an end, just as we thought they were brawling. Meisy Chasson is on top on full guard and gets a beautiful elbow on Mayra Bueno Silva right on top of her eyebrow, gushing blood, very deep cut. It's almost like she didn't put any Vaseline on her face. I wonder if Vaseline had a role there, like if they put a little more, would that cut be as deep? But it was a massive cut right above the eyebrow ridge. Really unfortunate. She was gushing all over her hair, all over the octagon. A lot of blood. They had to eventually stop the fight. It was a doctor stoppage. She wanted to keep going, but if you guys saw the amount of blood that was coming out of her thing and how deep that thing was, I don't understand how you could keep going. I get it. Joe Rogan's like, it's just blood. Like, who cares? Like, get her back in there. I'm like, yeah, but let's be real. I'm going to aim. If I was Meisy, I'm aiming for that spot over and over again. I'm going to punch her there. And it's just not good to be leaking that much blood. A good win from Meisy. I think she would have won either way, to be honest. But whatever. Entertaining first round. That's all we can say. Moving up the main card, Anthony Smith against Roman Dolidze. I'm never picking Anthony Smith again. What on earth is he doing? Round 1 looked okay. Roman Dolidze kind of ate up his feet. They kind of like leg kicked that range for all of round 1. Barely threw any jabs. Anthony Smith threw some jabs, didn't really land. And then round 2 and further, Anthony Smith just looked gassed. He just looked like he wasn't in it. I don't know what's up with him. People really thought we were looking at the rejuvenance of Anthony Smith following his win against Vitor Petrino by that sub at Brazil. But oh my god, he's back to his old ways. No rejuvenation. He's back to his old ways doing absolutely nothing. No heart. Lying heart. No heart. Last 20 seconds of fight where you're supposed to beat up on the pace, right? Like, try to get your finish. You're down 3-0 probably. And you're fighting Roman Dolidze. Like, Use your hands. Try to go for a finish last 30 seconds. Show us that Lionheart does nothing, accepts a 3-0, 2-1 defeat. Unfortunate. Roman Dolidze looked good, which is a crazy thing to say. He looked good against Anthony Smith. This is a wild world we live in, but I don't want to see him mention Alex Pereira ever again, to be honest, because he's been doing that whole thing where, like, I'm coming off that win, like, one more win, I'm finding Alex type shit, I want that grappling match with Alex. Buddy, you got no chance. Let's stop with the shit. Alex will flatline this dude immediately. Bro has no hands. He's always talking about his jiu-jitsu game. Like, when he's on the floor, I see nothing against Roman Dolidze, who's actually a jiu-jitsu, like, someone who knows jiu-jitsu, and not Vitor Petrino, who's never trained jiu-jitsu in his goddamn life. Anthony Smith loses. Good. Whatever. Roman Dolidze, I still think he should fight Paulo Costa, in my opinion. And he's been saying in his interview that he's top 10 ranked in both divisions. I don't think that's how that works, but whatever. Hopefully fights Paulo Costa and gets fried up against a cage. Dan Ige against Diego Lopez for the co-main event. And yes, it's Dan Ige and not Brian Ortega. Because Brian Ortega, of course, pulled out. This man went from not being able to make weight to pulling out because he was sick the day of. Like, Brian Ortega, what the hell, man? Like, he's turning into Hamza, bro. At least Hamza, like, pulls out a week before. This dude's pulling out hours before the fight. Shout out to the UFC. They got Dan Ige coming from Extreme Couture, traveling to the T-Mobile Arena to fight Diego Lopez on, like, 4 hours notice. I thought he was going to get knocked out round 1, but he was training, and he showed some grit. One of Diego Lopez's, like, toughest fights, other than the Evolov fight, of course, but good performance in Diego Lopez. He really showed some good jiu-jitsu in round 1 and 2, but Dan Ige showed us some good jiu-jitsu defense. I always forget that Dan Ige is really good jiu-jitsu and he has a really good ground game. Come round 3, it was 2-0 Diego. He was having a pretty safe fight. Dan Ige was trying to land his punches, wasn't really getting to any of it. And then Diego Lopez seemed to, like, gas in round 3. He was really just hanging on for that win. He looked like he couldn't wait for that fight to be over. And Dan Ige stepped on the pressure, landed some great shots on Diego Lopez's chin. Lopez, good chin, because we've seen him fight some pillow punchers before. But now, against someone like Dan Ige, who hits hard, it was at catchweight, but even being at catchweight, like, he hits hard. Diego Lopez pretty much ate a lot of those shots, didn't even get wobbled. I swear those landed clean, but great chin from Diego Lopez. He gets taken, he gets put on bottom position. Dan Ige tries to land some good strikes on the ground in the guard and even on top, but good win from Diego. It's on short notice. He's fighting 20 pounds above where he usually fights against Dan Ige, who's coming off the couch. Not really, though. He's been training for 3 months because he has a fight in like 2 weeks. So whatever, good win for Diego Lopez. This card's all over the place, guys, as you can see, but we have Chads in the main event. Alex Pereira against Jiri Prochazka. Stare-off was good. The stare-off, guys, was better than most of these fights on the card. I'm not even going to lie. Their stare-off was better than the Ian Gary fight, for example, by the way. But you know what pisses me off? We had gladiators fighting today for the main event. And we had some fights down here like Ian Gary hugging. We had some other fights like, who cares about these fights? The fact that we had all these fights, and then the main event, we had Jiri and Alex fighting on short notice. Somebody's getting absolutely flatline KO. The fact that these motherfuckers on this card got to watch this fight is just, it's not justice anymore, guys. Of course, these guys put their brains on the line, put their bodies on the line. Crazy fight. Alex Pereira, Jiri Prochazka. Stare-off better than most of these fights on the card, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even being a casual here. Stare-off was crazy. It went crazy. We're going to have more of those memes on TikTok and Twitter about that stare-off. Started off, Alex landed his traditional leg kicks. Jiri, again, had zero defensive leg kicks. He had like an interview with DC where he's like, I prepare for the leg kicks. He had no preparation for the leg kicks again. He did not check one of them. He did not get away with one of them. Alex landed every single one of his leg kicks in round 1. I think he threw about 4 or 5. Landed every single one. Jiri doing his traditional hands down to his thighs. Not even like the chest. Just straight up hands to the thigh like he's MVP. And he's doing his traditional switches stance, trying to get into Alex's face. He really had nothing coming in. He landed a couple of hands, nothing with power on it. Alex kind of just plays his usual game. He was actually jabbing more this time, which is unusual for Alex. He was throwing off the jab, landed on Jiri cleanly. leg kicks were pounding Yuri's legs. We saw him switch his stances a couple of times. Not really because of the leg kicks, but you could see the leg kicks were getting to him already, which is a bad sign. And then at end of round 1, Jiri, 10 seconds, jumps in. Alex Pereira hits him with a left hook. Jiri just ends up on the ground, and he's like, he doesn't even know where he's at. Like, he's on the ground. He's like, I'm good. I'm like, homie, get up, bro. The ref doesn't stop it, of course. Like, he's still good. It's the end of the round. If that happened about 10 seconds earlier, he would have got TKO'd, of course. But don't worry, guys. Round 2 comes up. And we're thinking, like, Jiri got wobbled. You know, it's not looking good for Jiri. 5 seconds around the first exchange, Alex Pereira sets up the head kick, lands clean, breaks his toe, apparently on impact, but lands clean on Yuri's head. Goes almost out cold, but he gets knocked down badly. Like, his knee, I'm pretty sure, got dislocated. It looked like he got dislocated. He landed badly behind on his back, just laid out flat on his back. Alex jumped in with some hammer fists, landed some clean punches while he was on his back, and yeah, pretty clean TKO there. I mean, feel bad for Jiri. He kind of got up, and God, he just looked all over the place. He looked wobbled beyond belief. Everything was wrong. This man got knocked. He got sent to the next oblivion. Yeah, but what can we say, guys? Alex just has unreal power. Good away from Alex. I don't even know what he does here. I guess he fights at heavyweight or he fights Ankalaev. I'm going to hope he flatlines Ankalaev also, and then he moves up to heavyweight. Jiri brought this up, and it's like, Ankalaev, who has he beat, guys? Let's be real here. Like, he got a draw against Jan. He beat Johnny Walker, which means nothing anymore. Johnny Walker gets beat by anyone with a little bit of power. But whatever. It's kind of sad to see Jiri go this way. He kind of lost like most of his aura. He looked like he just got run over by a bus getting up. He looked wobbled. Just unfortunate. Even Alex was worried for him. Alex walks off pretty nonchalantly like, I really did that shit. My question is, what is Jiri even thinking? He tried to clinch once. He said he got his new game, like he knows how to beat Alex, like he's revised his game, right? There was no revision. There was none of that. This man had zero revision. This man lied to us. Alex landed all the exact same leg kicks. Good body shots. Jiri had some of that crazy style, and he walked into a left hook in the last 10 seconds, and then in the second round just got head kick KO'd. When I'm thinking adjustments against Alex Pereira, I'm thinking leg kick defense. I'm thinking hands close to the head, maybe, but you know, you got to have your hands close to the chin somewhat. The left hook is coming. It's no surprise, guys. Your hands don't even be down to your thighs. There's no takedown threat from Alex. What was Jiri thinking? Why is your hands down here when you just been wobbled in the first round? You almost got KO'd in the first round. You're going to the second round and your hands are down? What is he thinking, guys? Like, I'm starting to think that Alex does have some ritual magic he's doing. Because what was he even thinking? I don't know. Jiri is just out of his mind. What's next for Jiri? Maybe a fight against Jamal Hill where he also gets flatlined because maybe his chin's gone. He's been talking about moving down to middleweight. I think it's going to ruin his career. I think he's probably going to turn into Tony Ferguson if he does it. Hopefully he fights Jamal Hill, though. I think that's a good fight. Take a break. Fight Jamal Hill at the end of the year. Maybe like an October, December card. I don't know. Maybe MSG would be cool. Yeah, MSG is cool, actually. Fight another John Jones card. That'd be cool. But, guys, overall, not the best card. Main event was sick, of course. We got some good stare downs from the main event. That's all. I was really excited for this card, and I don't know. It's just kind of fell flat. I mean, none of these fights excited me. Like, really none. The Gary Page fight, oh, God, it was so disappointing to see. But at least we got Alex and Jiri to fight. That really got me hyped up. A lot of people were hyped about that. It's an underwhelming card. Alex and Jiri, shout out to them. Saving the card, making it great. It's probably, their main event was probably better than that Conor McGregor main event anyway, to be honest. But, guys, leave a comment, leave a like. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.